Urgent Atlanta Falcons fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Atlanta Falcons updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Falcon fans, you better settle in because today's news just hit hard and fast, and it could change the course of the Falcons' upcoming season. We're talking about a major shakeup in the NFL quarterback landscape, and the Atlanta Falcons might be right in the middle of it. Now, I know what you're thinking, what's the big deal? Is it about a new signing? A trade? Well, hold on to your hats because we're diving into some breaking developments that could see your beloved Falcons make a bold move very soon. Let's start with the context. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, and this year has been no different. Teams are jockeying for position, trying to find that perfect quarterback, that guy who can elevate the entire franchise. The Falcons, for a while now, have been in a bit of a limbo when it comes to their QB situation. They have a young, promising core, but they've also been linked to veteran players who could bring stability and experience. The question has been, will they go all in on the draft, or are they eyeing a trade or a veteran signing to bridge the gap? Well, recent news might have just tipped the scale. On May 10th, the NFL world was stunned when the New Orleans Saints announced that Derek Carr, after 11 seasons in the league, was retiring. Carr, who had been dealing with a shoulder injury, decided it was time to hang up his cleats. For years, Carr was seen as a steady, if not spectacular, presence at quarterback, a guy who could lead offenses and put up solid numbers. But this injury, coupled with a tough year and some inconsistent play, appears to have pushed him toward retirement. Now, this decision by Carr isn't just a personal milestone, it's a seismic shift for the Saints' quarterback situation. The Saints, who have been in a bit of a flux at QB after parting ways with Jameis Winston and with Taysom Hill primarily playing a hybrid role, suddenly find themselves in a pretty interesting spot. They currently have Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shaw, and Jake Haener on the roster, but none of these are exactly proven veterans or franchise quarterbacks. Rattler, a former top recruit, has shown flashes in college and limited NFL action, but he's still raw. Shaw has been a backup and developmental project, and Haener is more of an untested rookie with potential but not yet proven at the NFL level. So, what does this mean? Well, with Carr's retirement, the Saints could be looking to make a splash. There's talk that they might try to bring in a seasoned veteran to stabilize things, someone like Kirk Cousins. Yes, Cousins. The very same Kirk Cousins who, until recently, was considered one of the more reliable quarterbacks in the league but has faced some recent turbulence. You see, Cousins, who signed a massive 4-year deal worth around $180 million, is sitting on a pretty hefty contract. He's coming off what many would call his worst statistical season, and he even got benched at one point in favor of Michael Penix Jr., which is a clear sign that his status in Minnesota is uncertain. Now, here's where it gets juicy. The Vikings are likely to look to move Cousins if the right deal comes along. They're not eager to pay $180 million to a backup or a player who might not be in their future plans. The Falcons have been interested in Cousins for a while now. It's no secret that Atlanta has been searching for a veteran presence under center, someone who can bring leadership and stability to a young core. But there's a catch: Cousins' contract is a huge obstacle. The Falcons are hoping to get a team to take on at least $20 million of his guaranteed money, but so far, most teams are only willing to contribute around $10 million. That's a big gap, and it's been holding up negotiations. Enter the Saints. With Carr's retirement, their quarterback situation is suddenly more urgent. They might be inclined to make an exception and take on more of Cousins' contract if it means getting a solid veteran leader on the field. And it makes sense, the Saints haven't had a true franchise quarterback in years, and now, with a talented young roster but no experienced guy under center, they could be a perfect landing spot. The idea is that Cousins, despite his recent struggles, still has enough in the tank to lead an offense that's primed to compete in the NFC South. And let's not forget, the Saints have some intriguing offensive weapons. Alvin Kamara is back after his suspension, Michael Thomas is healthy again, and they drafted some promising young receivers. If Cousins joins the mix, he could provide the stability and experience that this offense desperately needs to compete with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers, both of whom are also making moves this offseason. But what about the Falcons? Well, here's where it gets really interesting. For months, Atlanta has been rumored to be eyeing veteran quarterbacks as potential trade targets. They've got a talented roster with young stars like Drake London and Bijan Robinson, but they still need that proven leader under center to take the next step. The Falcons' front office has been cautious but opportunistic, waiting for the right moment to strike. And now, with Cousins potentially available, it could be the perfect storm. The question is, will Atlanta pull the trigger? The Falcons have shown they're not afraid to be aggressive when the right player is available. They've made some bold moves in the past, and if they believe Cousins can provide the leadership and production they need, we might see a trade happen very soon. The key here is the contract. The Falcons don't want to pay more than $10 million of Cousins' guaranteed money, and they're looking for a partner willing to take on more. If the Saints or another team step up and agree to a fair deal, Atlanta could be the next team to add a veteran quarterback to their mix. Let's talk about Kirk Cousins himself for a moment. Despite the recent ups and downs, he's still a highly talented quarterback. He's known for his accuracy, football IQ, and ability to perform under pressure. Sure, last season wasn't his best, he threw for around 200 yards with 33 touchdowns and 14 interceptions, but he's still a player capable of leading an offense and making smart decisions. Plus, he's only 35, which means he still has a few good years left in him. If he joins a team like the Falcons, with a strong running game led by Bijan Robinson and a solid receiving core, he could thrive. He'd bring that veteran presence that young quarterbacks need to learn from, and he would instantly upgrade Atlanta's QB room. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but what about the long term? Isn't this just a short-term fix? Well, that's a fair point. Cousins might not be the future franchise quarterback, but he's a proven professional who can help the Falcons contend now. And if Atlanta finds a young quarterback they like in the draft or in the future, Cousins could serve as that bridge, a veteran mentor and leader. Let's also consider the history here. The Falcons have been building a competitive team over the last couple of seasons, especially on offense. With the addition of Bijan Robinson, the running game looks explosive, and the receiving core is developing nicely. Their offensive line has been improving, and the defense, while still a work in progress, has some promising pieces. Adding a veteran like Cousins could be the missing piece to push them over the top and secure a playoff spot. And what about the bigger picture? The NFC South is still very much up for grabs. The Bucs are rebuilding, the Panthers are in transition, and the Saints are trying to find their footing after losing Carr. If the Falcons can make a savvy move here, they could position themselves as serious contenders in the division. A veteran quarterback with playoff experience and leadership qualities could be exactly what they need to make that leap. Now, let's talk a little about what could happen next. The NFL trade deadline is still months away, but the offseason is where most of these moves happen. If the Saints or another interested team work out a deal to move Cousins, Atlanta could be front and center in the negotiations. It's all about timing and the willingness of the other teams to cooperate. The Falcons, meanwhile, are probably waiting patiently, ready to pounce if the right deal presents itself. They've been patient so far, and this could be their chance to make a bold statement in the 2024 season. In the end, what we're seeing here is a classic example of how the NFL offseason can be full of surprises, and how a single move can reshape a franchise's future. For the Falcons, bringing in a veteran like Kirk Cousins might be the key to unlocking their potential and making a real push for the playoffs. It's a story that's still unfolding, and as fans, we need to stay tuned because this offseason could bring some fireworks. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think the Falcons should make a move for Cousins? Would he be the right fit? Or do you believe they should stick with their young guns and build from within? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and we're here to bring you all the inside scoop. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons!